Hello everyone, welcome to the Complete Sports Updates, the show where the latest and trending stories in the world of sports are brought to you. My name is Abib Kuranga. Joining me on today's episode is the amazing and wonderful Adeboye Amosu. Together we shall be taking you through the grounds as far as sports and stories in today's episode is concerned. Welcome to the show, Boy. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. It's good to be back on the show once again.
Absolutely. It's always good to be back on the Complete Sports Update. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are set to clash against the Panthers of Gabon in the African playoffs for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And right here on Complete Sports Update, we shall assess the weaknesses as well. The Super Falcons of Nigeria are preparing for their 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Benin Republic in a two-legged affairs, with the first game coming up at the Stade de Kegel in Togo, while this return leg will be coming up in Nigeria at the Moshood Abiola Sporting Complex. So, Boy, it's nice to have you once more on the show. Well, let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, it's no longer news that we have actually officially qualified for the playoff, and well, we are now in the rounds to play a one-off match in Morocco first, which is going to come up against Gabon, with the hope that we are going to defeat them to play with the winners between Cameroon and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And you know, there've been some talks about the Gabonese side. Some are actually saying that it's going to be a stroll in the park for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, with what we actually witness as well, as far as their team is concerned, so many things can actually go as far as proceedings in between these two teams is concerned. So let's hear your thoughts about the strengths as well as the weaknesses of this side ahead of their encounter against the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Well, I think it's going to be a difficult game for the Super Eagles. They all know that if I can say it, if I will say the die is cast at the moment, because any mistake at this stage, you out of contention for the World Cup proper. Yeah. So thank God they were able to make it to the playoff after a poor start in the qualifying series. So far so good. I think from what we saw against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic, led by former Super Eagles coach John Otro, if they can maintain the same momentum going into the game against Gabon, I think Nigerians will smile at the end of the day. Then talking about the Gabon to all Nigerians, because if you look at a team that at least lost only one game out of 9 games in the qualifiers, is a team that everybody should reckon with, and they scored quite a number of goals too and conceded few goals in the qualifiers. So it's going to be a difficult one. Aubameyang has already said they want to play at the World Cup. Remember, if you look at the stage, he's probably have few years left in the game, and the coach too has said they are not afraid of the Super Eagles. So it's going to be a West African affair. I think the Super Eagles, for me, should not underrate the Gabonese. If they do that, it might not all go well for the team at the end of the day. For them, they should at least prepare well for the game and look forward to a difficult game, because when you relax, you might be caught off guard at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, let's talk about you know, you made mention of them scoring goals and all of that, and you know, they actually scored 22 goals, which is actually very, very much. And you know, out of these 22 goals, 15 were actually scored by two star men, the Los Angeles FC striker, what's his name now, Dennis Buhanga, as well as, you know, America Aubameyang scoring 7, him scoring 8, 15. That's like 68% of the total goals. You know, should Nigerians should actually be of the total number of goals for this Gabonese side?
Well, I think it's for the head coach of the team. I'm talking about Eric Chelle to find a way of stopping these two guys. One thing about football is, once you know your threat, as in the opposition's top men, is for you as a coach to fashion out a way of stopping them. Thank God the Super Eagles have top quality defenders in their ranks. So when you talk about the new kid on the block, that's Benjamin Frederick. You talk about Calvin Bassey, who is vastly experienced. You understand?
Yeah.
It's a pity that Semi Ajayi will not be available for the game, but I don't think it should be a problem for the Super Eagles to find a way of stopping these two guys. Like I said earlier, it's always good when you know, as in when you know the opposition you are going to face. It's not as if you are going to face minnows that you will say, we don't have videos of their past games. Yeah. We have little knowledge of the team. But in this case, the Gabonese team is well known. They know they are top men. So it's just for them to fashion out a way of stopping these two guys.
Absolutely. So, barring any setbacks, injuries, suspension, or anything, do you think the last 23-man squad list released by Eric Chelle should actually still be used in this encounter, or do you think there should be some changes here and there in the list?
Well, for me, the team that prosecuted the last two games against the Benin Republic and Lesotho, I would say there was no depth, no balance in the squad, because if you look at the team, especially the defense, you could see that there was only no original right back in the team. Olaino was out, Osai Samuel was out. That was why this guy had to deputize as the right back, Benjamin Frederick. So going to a crucial game against the Benin Republic, I think the coach needs to work on that, you understand? Yeah. Especially now that Semi Ajayi will not be available for the first leg. And we all know that you can't really rely on William Troost-Ekong for now, because he has lost pace. Probably moving to Saudi Arabia has kind of affected his game. Then if you look at the midfield too, I would like to see this guy back into the team. These two guys, Raphael Onyedika and Fisao Dele Bashiru. At the moment, the two of them are not back in training with their, as in full training with their team. We saw Raphael Onyedika return to training with Club Brugge this week, but he has been omitted from their Champions League team this week. So hopefully he will play at the weekend and maybe next week too, and he will be ready for the game. Fisao Dele Bashiru is one guy who has, at least, he has never disappointed with the Super Eagles since he broke into the team. So hopefully he will be available for the game too. The strikers, Arokodare, James Jerimarco, hopefully they too will be available, and the main man, that's the talisman, Victor Osimhen. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and see who will be available for the game. And the gaffers too, I'm talking about the technical crew, they should be praying for the majority of the main guys in the team to be available for the game. I'm talking about Victor Osimhen, Alex Iwobi, Wilfred Ndidi and co.
Absolutely. Yes, well, that's the thoughts of Adeboye Amusu, and you can see how he actually pieces everything as far as that is concerned. And we really wish the Super Eagles of Nigeria the very best as far as their quest of making it to the 2026 FIFA World Cup is concerned. So let's talk about the Super Falcons. Well, their defense for the title that they won is now back, and they will be facing Benin Republic in a two-legged affair, first in the Togo before the game that will be played at the Mojuda Biola Sports Complex here in Nigeria. So what say you about their quest of qualifying for the Women's African Cup of Nations? Maybe they can actually extend it, to 11th title this time around. So let's say your thoughts on that.
Well, it will be a disaster for the Super Falcons not to qualify for the WAFCON 26 finals. If you look at the pedigree of both teams, I was talking about the Amazons of the Republic, quality-wise, experience-wise, the golden gap. Talking about the quality of players, the class between the two teams. We are talking about the 10 times African champions with 6-time African Footballer of the Year, Isato Shuala. We talk about probably the awaiting African Footballer of the Year in Esther Okoronko and Rashida Tajibade. So I think it will be a stroll in the park for the Super Falcons. I'm not expecting anything short of a victory in both legs.
So you can hear it from the man. He said that we should not be afraid of the Benin Republic side, even despite the fact that the manager of the side was actually, pumped up and confident that his side will actually claim the maximum points. Let's roll again, please. Okay. Okay, so you can hear from the man right there. He said that we should not be afraid of the Benin Republic side. That's why the fact that the manager of this side was actually, confident and well pumped up ahead of the clash. Well, we do hope that the Super Falcons of Nigeria will claim the maximum win in both affairs. So thank you very much, boy, for the wonderful and insightful analysis as always. Viewers, this is what we're wrapping things up as far as proceedings in today's episode is concerned. Do well to like, share, subscribe, as well as comment on this particular episode. Do take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.